into the what the fuck? What news? All right, so first thing on the list here, career builder. If any of you guys have ever looked for a job, more than likely you might have tried it. I don't know if I've ever actually gotten any hits from it. Jobby.com usually did it for me. But anyways, some fucking reason, somehow one of the editors or a few of them, I don't know how many guys they put on this fucking task here, and it might have just been to kind of spook up some fucking clicks for Halloween, but they compiled a list of a supposed study in which cities are most likely and least likely to survive a zombie apocalypse, and this list is consisted of weighted index rankings from 53 of the largest U.S. metropolitan areas, and there's like 1 million that have 1 million residents and up, and it's a standard of flesh-eating virus transmitted via biting or contact with infected blood is assumed, or however the hell zombie shit kind of starts end up popping off. But it's pretty much going against what could fight against the virus, what could contain the virus, what could possibly provide a cure, and other epidemics like fucking ample food supply, so on and so forth. So there's a list. I love me some lists, and what ranks on top of these fucking lists might surprise you and may not. So I'm going to kind of go through a few of these here just to kind of give a rough spot as to, you know, how the shit would go down. Would we be able to survive it? I mean, shit, who fucking knows? Data, just like anything else, is just analytical shit that's compiled against other things, and mind you, these are just by the book kind of odds, but a lot of times, I mean, just like your David and Goliath, it's always the underdog that prevails. But top 5 of the ones that would survive, number 1 was Boston. Cambridge, Newton, pretty much between Mass and New Hampshire, had the top score of being able to survive. And I would have thought fucking all the drunk fucking Irishmen would have fucking knocked the fuck out of each other and would have been hurled up inside bungalows or bars, but that might have been what fucking saved them. The next thing is Salt Lake City, Utah. That's second on the list to be able to survive. And now in my mind, I'm thinking, well, shit, man. You know, you and your wives, you stay in, just stay shackled about. You have your crops and your forest and whatever other cult-like shit that you have in your plantation, and you good. Number 3 is Columbus, Ohio. Don't really got shit to say about Columbus, Ohio. Baltimore and Columbia, so township, so Maryland, you know, that was one of the surviving ones. And, you know, niggas be killing themselves up there, so, you know, shouts out to y'all. And then 5th on the list of top-ranked cities that could survive a zombie apocalypse is Virginia Beach and Norfolk, which I think is like Newport News. Either which way, from the VA to the North Carolinas, y'all would have survived this shit. And I mean, I would imagine like being close like to the DCs and things like that, there's gonna be certain technologies that's gonna, you know, be able to save your ass in the time being. So I gotta hit up my nigga from Strict 9 out there in Virginia, because he got shackled up, found himself a bad white bitch, and live happy. And there's a top 5 of the worst cities in which you can possibly try to attempt to survive. And I guess, and this makes me laugh because I mean, as much as I like The Walking Dead, I didn't get too deep into the series. I just know that they were in Georgia, and once again, the top ranked city to be fucked in that situation would have been Atlanta, Georgia. I don't feel bad for ya. Second on the list, Miami, Florida. I mean, shit, they're already fucking eating each other's faces with the goddamn synthetic weeds or whatever bath salts, so whatever kind of shit they're popping off there, so it's not illegal. Y'all motherfuckers doomed anyway. Riverside, California, Holmes. You motherfuckers don't give too many shits. Along with motherfuckers in LA, you snobby, tramp ass mother dudes. And I guess kind of topped off on the top 5 of the fucked list is Tampa, Florida, and New York, New York. Now, because it's so clusterfucked and shit, I mean, if an outbreak were to come down there, then, I mean, there'd be really no way to contain it. You'd have to slaughter all you motherfuckers. And, I mean, it's as easy as just kind of chopping off a piece of the fucking country and just letting you floating about. And, you know, pray to Jesus that y'all can make it safely, or at least don't affect any other motherfuckers. So, be blessed. Let's kind of keep it moving. We're in the States. Let's get the fuck away from me. And let's go to Australia, where a man who was searching for a toilet stumbles across a 49,000-year-old evidence of earliest settlement in Australia. Now, as the story goes, an Australian man was searching for a toilet where he stumbled across the oldest known evidence of and I can't pronunciate the fucking word, but an aboriginal settlement in existence. Now, it says that the chance discovery happened while, and I can't believe the fucking names person. I can't say the fucking names person. I can't say the fucking name of the person. And this elder, Clifford Coulthart, was surveying gorges in the area, and Mother Nature called. And he goes that he came across the ridge site known as Warantai. Anyways, that's not Japanese. It's a strange. I have no fucking idea how you say it. Anyways, which showed, pretty much that it had such early settlements. So now I've stumbled across a lot of shit in my day in attempts to take a shit. But I don't know how the fuck you find things like this, and I'm not too sure if maybe someone else had taken a shit and, it became petrified because of the weather, or because, the toilet flushes the opposite direction, or however that shit goes. Can't really explain it. Don't know shit about it. If my boy Trav Lord was somewhere around, hopefully listening, maybe he can kind of spit some news about the shit. I don't fucking know. I don't dig up shit. But, nudes. All right, so moving on over to China. There's where motherfuckers are calling it a genius woman who gets 20 of her boyfriends to buy her 20 iPhone 7s, and this bitch sells them to buy a house. Now, I'm not too sure because the article and other research I was able to find really says whether or not she was dating them continuously. They didn't say whether she was fucking them all. She didn't say she had to do a little something strange for a little piece of change. Now, those phones ain't fucking cheap, so I know it wasn't just a little bit strange, because I know it wasn't just a little bit of fucking change. And this bitch apparently would actually sell these things to some recycling place that takes your old smartphones, and I'm pretty sure it refurbishes them and resells them. It tries to make more money than what they're giving you. But this bitch gave up enough to be able to get what was equivalent to be like 18 G's. And it was a little under that shit, but she was able to make enough so she could put a down payment on the house. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, this bitch is smart. Now, what I probably would have done is just to fucking take a small donation from these motherfuckers, get the hardcore cash, not have to, liquidate the bitch or liquidate the shit. But whatever it is that has to be done in order to be able to get what you want done. And, I know that in China, females are scarce. I mean, you go to anywhere when it's spring break and there's buku of bitches, that just became legal. They down for the get down. But in China, families are only allowed to have one daughter. And in most cases, they would fucking kill the daughters because, they can't have them make money. They can't be breadwinners. They can't contribute to whatever business. They bring shame upon family, or however the shit goes. But, this bitch pulled a fast one and was able to fucking get it done. Now, I had suspicions that maybe this was just a PR stunt, maybe to kind of let motherfuckers think, hey, you trade in your shit and we'll get it going. But the story is kind of spread across. Didn't really give too much information, but you go, bitch. You go. Moving along from China to Japan, there's a fucking, and this is the headline, y'all. Fart sparks fire during surgery in Japan. The patient seriously burned. Now, yeah, that was pretty disgusting. I'm so sorry. Oh, nigga, there's flames everywhere. There goes a patient who farted during a surgical procedure in Tokyo allegedly sparked a fire that seriously burned her. There goes the unnamed woman in her mid-30s was undergoing an operation in April at Tokyo Medical University, and the hospital was, using some kind of lasers to her cervix when the laser was ignited. It goes, while the surgery was being carried out and the patient was, past wind, this shit sparked a fire and pretty much burned the fucking place down. Now, the blaze burned much of her body, including her waist and her legs, but she was just released back at the end of October, around the 28th, so just in time for Halloween to be the burnt down bitch. Now, they're still investigating the matter, but they're not, seeing it as a crime. But that's just a goddamn shame, because on the real, and I don't know what it is or what bacteria got in me, but I be ripping like a motherfucker, just yearning for the mic. And goddamn, if that shit would have got me some third-degree burns. No. All right, so keep it moving because we can't stop, won't stop. Sheffield, man. cuts off his toe with bolt cutters and eats it. Now, this happened in the UK at a Wilko store. And Wilko apparently is kind of like a Home Depot meets Office Space kind of shit. And it doesn't really say what was going on. They're just saying that on a Sunday morning, dude casually walks in, looking at bolt cutters, picks out the one that he wants, and just starts fucking clipping off the toe, and then just starts chomping on it. They reported it, police got there. It doesn't say much beyond that, but what the fuck, man? And more than likely, this nigga has to be homeless. Maybe he fucking lost all his benefits. Maybe he thought it was fucked and said, you know what, I'm going to do this here because if I did it anywhere else, I'm probably going to bleed to death with no one taking care of me. Now, I don't know how the health coverage is down there, but, yeah, that was some real shit. All right, so moving on over again to the Philippines, leader Duarte says that God told him to stop cursing. So he made a vow to the Lord that he was going to stop using slang words and stop talking shit. The next fucking day, he's back at it again. Now, this foul-mouthed Philippines president who once called the Pope a son of a bitch and told Obama to go to hell, like I said, make that vow, and I'm not too sure what it was that made him kind of go through this trip. I don't know how he was touched, by the universe in which to tell him that he needs to clean up his act. But this guy, who is better well known as like the Filipino Trump without the pizzazz, just all balls and nothing else. Yeah, that happened. So keeping in the realm where the spear of fellow wetback brothers, Venezuelans give up on counting piles of cash and they just start fucking weighing it. Now, after so long of inflation and just motherfuckers adding to the deficit and really just kind of devaluing shit, they literally, it estimates from each year to year jump from 200% to 1,500%. Now, I don't know fucking math and I'm just fucking looking at numbers, but they literally have, like, if you, there's this one article that goes on about this guy who owns a fucking bakery, and these are just fucking muffins and donuts this motherfucker selling, and he was quoted and said he feels like fucking Pablo Escobar fucking for having all these mounds of cash every day, more and more, that they literally need a whole room just to keep them in, so they don't even count the shits anymore, they just fucking weigh them. Now, I don't know how this would kind of tie in together, but I was listening to Paul Mooney, who's fucking hilarious, probably one of the best ghostwriters ever in comedy, and he had kind of talked about how, the best trick that the white man did was fucking, and I'm trying to think comparisons to the devil, I'm making shit a lie, but it's selling you water. The fact that they can fucking poison the water that we have for free and end up fucking selling you fucking bottles of it, like, that's some fucking shit, and who knows what the hell's in that shit? Do we actually test it? Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck cares? Because we're gonna buy it anyway, and we're gonna do whatever the hell. But anyways, imagine they gonna start selling us fucking air. Like, it's fucking mind-boggling. It makes me cry. Let's go to some more what the fuck news, please. Alright, so bringing shit back down to the States. In New York, in the fucking Museum of Modern Arts, they've announced that they're gonna include the original emojis. Now, how the fuck that's possible since the bitch is digital, I wasn't too quite sure, but apparently there's 176 Japanese pictographs from the very late 20th century, and they're the original emojis. So apparently 176 of these shits include like the cloudy weather, a dog, cat, golf, karaoke bar, all the basics of civilization. So fucking God bless America. You know what? Let me back it up really quickly, because there's some shit that came out of Canada that fucking really had me cracking up, especially when I read the title. Sweeping changes in store for curling after Broomgate. Now, for those that aren't too sure, and I've never was quite sure how the fuck this shit ever became a sport, but curling is like a fucking granite-looking type of round-ish kind of rock that they pretty much put on a fucking ice rink, and they have like brooms and shit that somehow they make it magically move, and they gotta move it from one end to the other, and I really don't know how it works, but apparently due to technology, Thank you, Japanese. There's like new brooms that apparently make it all the more fucking easier in order to be able to skedaddle or to scoot these shits along. So apparently there's some shit called the broom gate because of the conspiracy behind it. Do I give that many fucks about it? No, I don't, but I just had to mention this shit because this shit seems straight up fucking retarded. Yeah, and Canada's the one bitching. I'm just saying. Alright, so bringing it back to the States, Miss Rachel Dolezal talks discrimination that she suffered, quote unquote, while living as a black woman. End quotes, in the memoir In Full Color. Now, for those that don't remember, Rachel Dolezal, the former NAACP chapter president whose white parents outed her for posing as black, is back and unapologetic as ever in her new memoir, In Full Color. Or I guess it's called In Full Color, Finding My Place in a Black and White World. Now, what's so fucking ridiculous is, mind you, she is a white woman who, like I said, she identifies as black, and I'm not too sure whether you want to call that, race appropriation or however the hell this shit, but she embraced the shit to its fullest capacity until they fucking figured out this bitch ain't black. Now, her writing this book and showing the struggles of a black woman is obviously taking food off the plate of actual black authors. She's pretty much crying wolf, so to speak, finally feeling the burn that is the racial divide that's not going to fucking end until the aliens come and show us how much pieces of shit we've been. What's just so funny, though, or what I'm hoping, even in all this fucking straight up blackface that she's playing, straight up blackface that she's doing, all this bamboozlement, is that what if motherfuckers actually listen? What if white motherfuckers actually pick up the book and they tell themselves, or they think to themselves, oh my God, Becky, look at how she's been hurt. What if this is what actually opens the eyes? So as asinine as it sounds, and as crazy of a ripple that it's started in the black Twitter sphere, wouldn't that be some shit if this is what it takes for motherfuckers to actually see what's been going on? Am I gonna read the book? Nah, fuck nah. Am I gonna laugh at this shit every time I fucking see it down the Walmart or Target? Yeah, fucking of course. It's just, it doesn't make any fucking sense how she can kind of go along with this. But if you're able to meet the right connects and start the right wave, ain't no such thing as bad publicity. Look at Trump. Just so we can finish off with this shit, I read another fucking interesting article that sounded like some bullshit, but I wanted to believe it. It says that pudgy older fathers live longer and apparently are more attracted to the opposite sex and are better at passing on the genes than their leaner counterparts, apparently, according to quote-unquote scientists. It says becoming father after fatherhood due to decreasing testosterone levels may not fit the macho ideal, but it actually prolongs lives and strengthens immune systems. Now, according to Richard Byabraskakas, a professor of anthropology and some other deputy provost bullshit in Yale University, it says that the evidence shows that, men are less likely to suffer from heart attacks and prostate cancer and other shit that they had figured out back in 2008, which is pretty much opposite of what they've been saying, because I figured those motherfuckers would have been the ones to die first. Now, I went from fat-ass blob to fucking Greek god. Now I'm back, kind of edging back to obese, so I'm really hoping that the good genes are what's going to keep motherfuckers alive, or at least my swimmer's strong. Now, it says that in the same vein, which kind of goes to show how much bullshit all this shit is, because they're saying that, we're, more attractive and that the dad bod is in, and, it could just be for fucking comedic relief, in all honesty. It says that there was also another study at Cambridge University last year that found that women searching for a father for their children should choose long-distance runners, and who are traditionally, very low levels of fat, and they're more likely to have stronger sex drives and higher sperm counts. So if that doesn't just belittle every fucking thing that I just said earlier, I don't know what does. Sounds like you're looking for a nigga, and I ain't want you, bitch. I ain't want you. That attitude. So that's gonna wrap it up for the what the fuck? What news.